Hello again. Chapters and timestamps in the description if you don't want to hear me waffle. There are many genres of metal, however not many metal genres are quite as unique as folk metal. And it's because of its uniqueness and historical connections upon discovering it 17 years ago, it has always been one of my favourite all-time metal genres. If you are new here or new to folk metal, it is special because unlike other metal genres, it varies much more from country to country. This is because it takes aspects of a band's traditional music and fuses it with metal and rock. For example, an Indian folk metal band will sound nothing like a Finnish folk metal band, whereas a thrash metal band will sound similar between countries. Hello Drag. Aspects of folk metal include a country's traditional music such as rhythms, vocal styles, and traditional instruments from the band's homeland. Similar examples would include Irish punk, Celtic metal, and some Viking metal. Yes, I know metalheads, the term Viking metal is controversial. I have done a lot of genre videos and I don't usually do an explanation so in depth, but due to the nature and the fundraiser for this video, I felt an explanation may be better, as some may watch this video out of curiosity to simply help Ukraine, and they may not be into metal or as knowledgeable on the subject as we are. With the explanation out of the way, let's get serious and the reason for this video. As we all know, Ukraine has been invaded since 2014. As well, Russia went full mask off in February 2022. As we all know, there's been a lot of propaganda going around, some of which the Russian people staunchly believe. Such lies as Ukraine is a Soviet invention, or Ukrainians are just Russian people. Ukrainian culture does not exist, which shows an utter ignorance towards history and cultural heritage. And not to mention, the orcs are actively destroying Ukrainian culture, history, and monuments to force this point. Which is hilariously ironic, because Russia would not exist if it wasn't for its father Ukraine. Before Ukraine, around 1,000 years ago, was the Kievan Rus, which was formed and ruled by Vikings. This was just after the Slavs kicked the Vikings out, but for some reason their hospitality decided to ask them back and to become their king. Right. This then formed a Slavic Norse culture with the Orthodox faith. Moscow was a tiny trading post that broke away from the Kievan Rus during the Mongol invasions, forming the Grand Duchy of Moscow and later Russia. Kievan Rus. Russia. It's in the fucking name. And I could lecture you over the next 1,000 years of history, but the point is, over the centuries, different people and culture have been in Ukraine, including many influences such as from the Greeks, Crimean Tatars, Turks, Jews, Lithuanians, and many Slavic peoples, and of course the Ukrainians themselves. So for the Russian government to make such claims is absurd. Surprise, I know. The Russian government talking a load of codswallop. Or maybe it's because there's a fuck ton of natural resources under the Donbass region and sea, so they can continue to have a monopoly on Europe with gas and oil. But hey, I don't know, I guess I'm just a conspiracy theorist. So, there isn't much I can do with my skills. I'm just a dude who knows history, metal music, and I can edit a video. But even if it's a small gesture, I hope it'll help somewhat. So please, even by simply listening and enjoying this music from Ukraine, you are doing a little fuck you to Russia and keeping Ukraine's history alive. And for those that can, and I will be donating too, please, even if it's a little, I know times are very tough, any donation is a help. Revive Soldiers of Ukraine is a charity to help severely wounded Ukrainian soldiers and civilians with medical needs in the US and Ukraine. Rehabilitation and medical equipment purchases, medication for military hospitals and civilian hospitals in Ukraine, and to help wounded soldiers from Ukraine with housing within Ukraine and the US, running a rehabilitation center for paralyzed soldiers and civilians in Ukraine in the Kiev region. I had planned to do this through YouTube, however I learnt just a few seconds before filming this video that I needed 10k subscribers to have that option. So what I'm going to do is to give the charity direct link. The donation link will be in the pinned comment section and the description for this video. I have also donated to a different charity in my wife's name for her birthday to how do I put this on YouTube? We sent a written message on a 155mm present to the Yorks, and as a show of good faith, this present will be sent via fast track delivery at roughly 853 meters per second. I would like to thank Serhi from the band HASPYD for helping me with this video. As with his help, it made making this video a lot faster with his knowledge of Ukrainian bands. And his band and channel will be linked and pinned in the comments section. So the first band is indeed HASPYD, which is really hard for me to say as a northerner because we don't elongate our A's, so I sound really southern English saying that. Grass, bath. In the north it's grass, so saying HASPYD is like gaspid. Anyway, the first band is HASPYD. I usually say where the band is from in their country, however due to the ongoing war I will not be stating locations.
Тільки правду, як жити, дай мені пораду, що сталося, самі лише могили, ой, роде, дай мені сили, дай.
Next up, we have Kraamola, and I probably didn't pronounce that right.
Гуркіт водоспаду, Карпатських горах,
last but not least, we have Chur.
Йому сказав я старче, облиш дорогу мою, питай про те наступне, хто прийде за мною. Тебе давно я знаю, потрібну справу робиш, ти світлу правду ясно від дурних борониш. Шепоче нам ліс, співає нам вітер, нам каже сонце в небі синім, до краю йде, то є наші діти. На його вершечку високому високим сидить. Сидить, не літає, чекає 2000 літ. Мовчить, виглядає, де є його діти малі.
I hope you enjoyed this showing of Ukrainian metal, and remember to support them via their channels and in person after Ukraine wins this war. Thank you for watching, and Slava Ukraini.